Hi everyone, hope you're doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, there's a story that was shared in the newspaper revealing a possibility of William Ruto either sending one of his CSs at home or reshuffling his cabinet because he's unhappy with the leadership style of that CS. In fact, he's a man. If you read the story, you'll see that. The issue is that the CS has little knowledge of his docket, and most of the function in that docket and the major decision is being made by the PS. The man is said to have been involved more in local politics and therefore not really much focus on the delivery of his docket. He spent more time in local politics but not working. Now, you look at that, then you start asking yourself questions. Anaweza kuwa nani? Let us go through this. Time taking for the Clueless cabinet secretary. Stakeholders in a critical docket are said to be unhappy with the leadership style of a cabinet secretary. The man is said to have little knowledge of his docket that affects nearly every household. Nearly every household. Inaweza kuwa ni gani hii? Which are these dockets that touches on each and every household? In my view, I think of two. I want to narrow down to two. It might be either agriculture or education. Let us continue. Officials at the ministry say most of the decisions in the docket are made by the principal secretary, who seems to have proper grasp of the mandate, having served in government previously. There is also another indication that a PS in that ministry has more knowledge of the docket because he seemed to have served more in the previous government. Now you can see a PS there. So you can now narrow down and understand who might be this CS that is being discussed here. The CS is also accused of spending most of his time engaging in local politics at the expense of his official duty. Now, tukienda pale, look at the politics in Meru. Kawira Mwangatha and the opponents. Wake aside. Come just to the latest here in Incase. The difference between Governor Simba Arati and the CS for Education Machogu. Now, both of these two dockets, those who are in charge, they all vied as the governor. One for Meru, another one for Kisii, but they lost. Some senior party operative was recently overheard saying a reshuffle is imminent. Now, the person who was heard talking about this is a senior official in the ruling UDA party, that the reshuffle is inevitable. Who can be this CS that Ruto might be preparing to fire or reshuffle that person to another docket? Before we go deep into that, narrow down to the very person, just a quick request. For those who are watching and you have not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing. To our returning subscribers, I must say thank you so much. And again, to all our viewers, please give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much, and back to this discussion. Now, who can be this CS? Because now we have reduced down to two individuals. One, we are talking about the agriculture docket. Two, we are talking about education. These are docket that touch on every household. Every household wanaguzwa. Either elimu ama ukulima. But above all, the fact remains that 3/4 of Ruto's cabinet is clueless. They have failed. They can't face Ruto and tell him the truth. They don't come out with the policies that really matters more to the very docket that they are holding to. Most of them are clueless. Nimeona wengine wakitaja Aisha Jumwa, CS for gender and those ones. But for me, I want to put Aisha Jumwa aside. Yes, most of these people, they are clueless. This cabinet should just go home. They have already failed. But going by the politics in Kenya Panther, now you DSN officials are talking about this. We will narrow down to those two individuals, Machogu and Mithika Linturi. Look on how the agriculture docket is being run today, where you have a CS who is telling us that he's going to contract farmers in Zambia to plant maize and import that maize to Kenya to solve a problem here in Kenya. Look at that. And you tell me, who is that CS? That is Mithika Linturi who said that. You see, a man who is a failure, who is looking for a solution in Kenya, in another country, when we can have that solution here. Hakuongea mambo ya irrigation and all those other things. He kept on promising us on how the cost of living is going to come down with a zero plan. But again, if you look at the PS for agriculture, it's not that much. He has never been in government for that much long. Paul Rono wasn't in the previous regime. I don't think so. But even if he was there, not for that much long. So yes, we are seeing failure so much in agriculture. But now, come to education. Machogu. And in my view, this is the man that the newspaper is revealing or exposing here. Why? Because if you look at the PS for education, Benjo Kipsang, he has served for 10 good years under Uhuru Kenyatta's administration. So he has the grasp of everything in that docket. He understands it very well. And that can be the man who is making major decisions in that docket. Kipsang has better knowledge in education docket compared to Machogu. Yes, we know PSS are the engine of each and every ministry. For them, they are given those appointments because of merit. You have to be you need to have knowledge on that ministry. If your training is not in that line, where's the power as a PS? We know that. But above all, experience comes also. Benjo Kipsang has better experience in education. Aliserve kwa Uhuru Kenyatta 10 years. That means amekuwa na better knowledge. Amefanya kazi na Matiang'i, amefanya kazi na the late Magoha. Now tuko sasa na huyu mwenye ako kwa saizi, Machogu. If you try to compare Machogu with the Matiang'i, ni makosa kubwa. If you attempt to compare Machogu with the late Magoha, ni makosa makubwa zaidi. You can't. This is a man who is clueless. You will hear him coming out with this statement. In the few minutes he is changing it. Mambo ya higher education, sijui loan, sijui, help. He came with a confusing statement. He does not understand how the Ministry of Education is run. A lot of errors and mistakes. You look at the Ministry of Education, it's total confusion. So it's an embarrassment to that docket. Huyu angepewa kazi ingine huko, kazi rahisi. Tulikuwa na watu wengi kutoka Kisii, or we talk about the Gusii community. We have better brains that they could have taken over this docket. Lakini Ruto aliamua kwenda huyu. Kazi yake kubwa ni kujiingiza kwa siasa ya kupigana na Mheshimiwa Simba Arati, the governor. The argument, the man was trembling with a mic in the hand, trying to respond to Simba Arati. He's too much obsessed in local politics. Badala ya kufanya kazi, ndio hata asirudi kwa siasa nyingine ya county hapa, akae kula another 10 years. He has failed. So that's the man that this newspaper is revealing or exposing here. Huyu anaweza enda nyumbani ama asongezwe kwa idara nyingine. So that is now the situation in Kenya kwanza. So Ruto might be planning to do something, and about 3/4 of his cabinet is clueless. But here they're targeting one individual, Machogu. I don't know your views. Well, let us be in the comment section to continue this discussion. Thank you so much, and see you in our next video.